Hi, I'm your host, Novon Baita, and welcome to the first edition of The Tea. Hi guys, so this is the first episode of The Tea. I need to let you know a little bit about what I'm gonna be talking about, okay? So it's gonna be about all, or not all, but some of the concerns involving the world, things that have made it to the news, things that I've read about, things that I've experienced, people I've met. You get the gist of it. So without further ado, let's move to our first segment, okay, guys? Please enjoy. Okay, so first I wanted to talk to you guys about a HIV crisis that's going on in the Philippines. The first HIV case happened in 1984. They actually have the lowest percent, they had the lowest percent, that is, unfortunately, of, I have to speak about it in past tense. They had the lowest HIV rate, which was 1%. Which was extremely low. I think it was probably one of the lowest out of in the world. But currently between 2010 and 2015, there's been a reported 20,000 new cases of HIV in the country of the Philippines. So this is largely because of johns and prostitution and drug use. As you saw in some of the images that I'm going to be showing throughout this segment, 70% of the cases of those 20,000 people are men, and reportedly are from men-to-men contact, sexual contact. I think that the number, the 20,000, might be a little bit incorrect too, because there's actually a large fee to just get tested. They have to go to a hospital to get tested for HIV, and it's $100. So, I mean, it may not seem like a lot to Americans, but in the Philippines, it's probably a lot more difficult to come by $100 just to get tested every 3 months, you know? So, people probably aren't getting tested like that, you know? So, who knows what that actual number really could be, you know? And I just wanted to finish this segment by saying that in 2015, there was a reported 415 deaths related to HIV. So with saying that, I think that our our people as a society should try to invest something towards helping the people of the Philippines with HIV knowledge, maybe some medications and stuff like that. And just overall awareness is something that I've read, and I thought that you guys should know that um, the the case out there is getting bigger. Like, the cases out there are growing, you know. So it's a growing problem out there, and which is weird because reportedly, I think the cases in the United States are actually decreasing. Don't quote me on that. I'm not really sure about actually in America. I just was reading an article about the Philippines, and that's what I found out. So without further ado, guys, just let me know what you think about what's going on with the Philippines and how you think that we can help and maybe get some kind of knowledge out there, or just spread the word that, you know, that the people in the Philippines have a crisis of HIV, and people need to be aware so that the right people, donators, and people, the right doctors, can learn about it and go out there and help if possible. Yeah, but without further ado, let me go to the next episode, alright? Bye. In North Carolina, guys, there is a bathroom policy that might be going into law, that might get passed, who knows, if senators get their way, that will affect LGBTQ communities. So it will really mostly affect the T in that, because it is mostly related to transgendered people and which bathroom they can use. Now, on the episode that I'm about to show you guys, there is a man named Phil Berger. He talks directly about men, not saying anything about the fact that there are women who transition into men.
With the governor's convention in North Carolina, protests, and arrests. The demonstrators are opponents to a newly passed state law that they say is devastating to the civil liberties of transgender people. The law strikes down a recently passed ordinance in Charlotte. It would have protected trans people and allowed them to select the restroom of their choice based on how they identify.
The adoption of the ordinance by the City Council of Charlotte was just crazy.
Republican lawmakers like Senate Pro Tem Phil Berger were furious at the legislation.
Allows grown men to share bathrooms and locker facilities with girls and women.
In a special session solely to consider the bill, Republican lawmakers passed the Public Facilities Privacy and Securities Act. It means transgender people in the state of North Carolina must use the restroom related to the gender on their birth certificate.
They're talking about the fact that the transgender people should not be able to go to the bathroom of their outside gender, that they choose. So, if this goes into effect, it will affect a lot of people's safety. A lot of people will be in danger because if someone has to go to that bathroom or they'll get arrested, then the surrounding area of people will know. Like, if you're a girl, like, you like fish, boom, and you walk into the guy's bathroom, because if you walk into the other bathroom and someone knows and they say something, and then you get locked up or something, it's like you don't win either way, because it's like, once you go into that bathroom, people are going to harass you from that point on, because then everybody will know, everybody will make a scene of it. Let's just be real. So, I think that's not cool. And they don't really understand that the dangers in being transgender, so they're just like, well, they can't be we don't want them with our daughters and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, well, again, you're just talking about transgendered women. You're not even talking about transgender men. So obviously, your focal point is the men. So how about you learn about transgender people as a whole before you try to pass a law? That's all I wanted to say about that. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to move on to the next segment, okay, guys? Bye. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys a video about a religious liberty bill that is also called the Free Exercise Protection Act.
In the courtrooms, you're seeing folks get their religious beliefs persecuted against.
In Georgia, the controversial bill passed by the State House and Senate is called the Free Exercise Protection Act, one of the several religious liberty bills that have surfaced across the country. Governor Nathan Deal has until May to sign it into law. Senator Mike Crane is one of the bill's most adamant supporters.
Is this legislation a direct result of what the Supreme Court did last year in legalizing same-sex marriage, gay marriage?
I think it's a result of many things, but that was just another catalyst, I believe.
But many blue-chip businesses around the nation say there will be major financial consequences to Republican efforts in Georgia and North Carolina. Disney and Marvel Studios have threatened to abandon production in Georgia if the governor signs the bill into law. The NFL says it could have an impact on whether Atlanta is selected as the host of the 2019 Super Bowl. And in North Carolina, the NBA says because of the new law, it may pull the All-Star game from Charlotte next year.
It's something that could go into law as soon as May. It's going to affect a lot of rights of the LGBT community, and as such, just as like I was talking about the state before with Georgia, this law or bill will greatly affect the LGBT community, and people are starting to get fed up with it, and companies are starting to boycott, like Disney and Marvel and the NFL and the NBA. So again, at the end of the day, I'm going to show you that clip really quick, guys, and then I'm going to move on to another clip that I want to show you, okay?
Relocating from Georgia if the governor signs this bill into law. Atlanta's Visitors and Convention Bureau has said the decision could cost the state up to $6 billion. And we should mention that the parent company here of CNN has joined the laundry list of big corporations to speak out against the bill. Victor, Allison?
So there's also a lot of losses too, as you can see. Like, a lot of companies are saying that they don't if they pass this bill, that they're not gonna come, they're not gonna associate with the state. They're gonna lose a lot of money. Leave a comment below about what you thought about this story, okay? So, starting on April 1st, the teachers in Chicago might be going on strike and might be walking out of classes if an amendment isn't made to the union contracts that they have. As you know, we have a Republican governor who is anti-union and who is pro-big company tax write-offs. So the teachers are extremely fed up, and if something isn't done, teachers will, on April 1st, be walking out or not coming to work at all. So that's just a really brief story that I read. It doesn't really affect me because I'm not in school and I don't have, any kids that actually go to school myself personally. So to all you parents out there, I feel sorry if you kids can't get an education because of a governor and teachers. Actually, so it's really two parties that just don't want to get along with each other. So I thought it was interesting because it was, policy related and news related with my city. So on to the next segment, okay? All right, guys. So now I want to talk to you about a guy that I met. I'm going to show you a picture of him right now, okay? All right, that guy's name was Ken Duncan. He was a Democrat who turned Republican. He is with Bruce Runner, and he ran for an election, this last election, and he unfortunately lost. But the real story in that is that I actually got to meet him. It was a weird story actually because I was in the house and I'm wearing like my little girl clothes and everything like that, and I just polished my nails and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, walking around in the house and stuff like that, and then someone knocks on the door, and I'm like, who's this knocking on the door? And I'm like, okay, open the door, boom, and it's like this guy, and he's like, hi, are you blah, 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 registered? And I'm like, yeah, I'm registered, and woo, woo, and he's like, oh, okay, well, I have the senator here, and, he's running for an election, and or something like that. And then the Ken Duncan guy comes up, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is Ken Duncan or something like that, and I don't know who the hell he is, honestly, but I was like, okay, I talked to him for a little bit like that. And then once I actually found out that he was a Democrat who turned Republican, I was like, oh, okay, I can see why he lost. And I wouldn't have voted for him if I knew where he was, but I thought that was kind of interesting that I actually got to meet him. So, hey, shout out to you, Ken Duncan. And, I may not believe in what you believe, but, it is what it is at the end of the day. Thanks for coming to my door and knocking, and, at least talking to me, I guess. Anyway, on to the next segment, okay? Alright guys, so this next story is going to be about a man named Richard Rosario. He was in prison for 20 years and he was freed recently, even though he had 13 people that could vouch for his whereabouts on the day that he was supposedly committing this crime. He was freed, and it was noted that the prosecutors did not do their job properly. And there was also noted that there was no forensic or physical evidence. So shouts out to Mr. Richard Rosario. I'm happy you're out there free. Justice sometimes is not always on our side, and as I will say in the next story, we'll kind of explain why sometimes they're not, because at the end of the day, they're human too, which is not always good when you have to live by laws that are written down. But anyway, that's on to the next story, okay? Okay. So, as I was just talking about in the previous story about Richard Rosario, he was freed out of jail after 20 years, even though he had 13 people to vouch for him. He wasn't there. They had no evidence. The whole shebang. He had a crappy prosecutor. Then the defendant must have been like, I don't know what happened. Personally, I didn't read too much deep into the story, but obviously some people weren't doing their jobs properly if there was so much evidence saying that he was not there and he didn't commit the crime, but he did so much time for a crime that he didn't commit. So I hope he gets his compensation. No, but with that, I wanted to talk about the prosecutors and defendants, because sometimes, like I said, they are human. So is your lawyer, or do you think your lawyer has ever been on the line? Okay, guys. So what I mean on the line, as you just saw, are they on drugs, and are they addicts? Are they addicted to drugs? Are they addicted to shopping? Are they addicted to? There are so many things that they could be addicted to. They could have eating disorders. They could be, addicted to exercise, and they could be worn out. They're still human at the end of the day, and they have so much they have to constantly mentally go through and physically go through as well because of the hours that they have to work. So they're probably really stressed out. And drugs on top of that, and then they're supposed to be the people that's defending you, or, that's not a good story, They may get you off, but then again, like I said about Richard Rosario, hey, you might not get off. You might end up serving time for something that you didn't do. And so with that, I just want to know about any stories that you guys have about prosecutors that didn't do their job. Do you know any prosecutors, or do you have any prosecutor stories where you felt like they didn't do their job, they didn't ask you any questions, they didn't say, hi, my name is, I'm your lawyer, and do you have any questions, etc. I have a story like that I might talk about one day, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll save that for some other video, okay, guys? So with that, I want to move on to the last segment, okay? Okay, guys, in this segment, we're going to be talking about, as you just saw in the last image, the Pope is, he's all about equality, and I like him a lot. I think he does believe in equality for gay people. Don't quote me on that, but I do think he is. In the picture you just saw, was while performing a ritual of cleaning and kissing the feet. That's usually something that's done only to men because of the apostles, and since he started to do women, people are kind of like, that's new, and you're kind of breaking rituals and breaking ground, and cleaning and kissing the feet of women as well as men. So with that, I think he is trying to break ground. He's breaking a lot of ground. I wanted to give him a big shout out because he's spreading so much love to the world. And thank you, Pope Francis, okay? With that, guys, that's the end of my show. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please leave comments below. Again, my name is Novon, and this is The G. All right. See you guys later, okay? Bye.